a simple practice for mobilization, freedom in the hip joints, the pelvis, and the lower back. You can use either one of these tools. A hand towel works as a great start, and if you happen to have a round ball that is somewhat soft, 4 inches in diameter, air-filled preferably, great, you can use that. I will demonstrate using both so that you can see what's available. Beginning with the towel, I'll take a hand towel, fold it in half so that I have a skinny rectangle, fold that again in half, and then I like to roll my detailed ends into the towel so I don't have that texture. And then we'll rest on the back and place this, which is now about the same diameter as a 4-inch ball, along the length of my spine, between the two hips or the pelvic halves, in an area that I typically refer to as the start of the plumber's crack. You are not going to be up on your lower back, and you will not be down at the base of the spine in the tailbone region. You're on a very broad area. My knees are bent. I'm just going to roll to the side or lift my hips to place the towel vertically along the pelvis, a little bit off of my lower back so that my lumbar region is free to move. I'm resting. My arms can simply relax. For the video, I'll keep them out to the side. And I am massaging the side of the spine by leaning from one side to the other, or focusing on my hip joint, gently folding, and moving my pelvic half towards the floor, balancing back out and folding the other hip joint to touch the floor, balancing back out and folding. My knees will just gently move. However, it is not my knees that are the primary focus. Therefore, I am not swinging the knees side to side on this. That will actually limit the clarity in my hips. My intention is to fold the hip joint on the front, open on the back, and fold on the other front, open on the back. I might execute about a dozen passes, side to side, and then I can rest in the center. A few deep and easy breath cycles. And then you can remove the towel and feel the difference that has made in the pelvis. Just to go directly into a bigger twist or greater hip opener, I can separate my feet every bit as wide as my shoulders, maybe even a little wider. I tend to take my arms up out of the equation. If you're comfortable having your arms up to open the chest or behind the head, you can, and let the legs windshield wiper to one side, opening up the top of the hip, thigh, oblique, torso on the leg that is closest to the ceiling, the hip that's in the air. And then when you rotate back through center, do so from the middle. Let the body lean to the opposing hip that was just in the air. Lift the other hip and stretch through the top of the thigh, the lower abdomen, oblique, ribs. You can move this a few times both directions, and depending on how big you'd like the opening to be, you can always bend the bottom knee a little bit more. That will increase the stretch on the front. Letting the hip joint open on the front, close on the back. And then you can let those rest. Again, just to reiterate, the same work can be done using a ball. I'm going to place that under the pelvis at essentially the same location, the start of the plumber's crack. I don't go into the gluteal fold, I'm just there at the top, balanced on the ball. And my knees are bent, my knees are relaxed so that I can fold in the hip joint and rock side to side. Again, I might execute 12 or a dozen alternating twists. And then since you are on the ball, you can stay here and massage across the pelvis, side to side, which will work the torso and begin to move the lower back in side bending practices. So a ball can help you work sideways into the glutes. And again, your knees are swaying just as a response to the hips moving, not because I have to move the knees. Just let the knees do a little movement to counterbalance where the pelvis goes. And then you can remove the ball and feel the difference that's made on the back. Stretch out the legs. And enjoy.